Boston fans are holding their breath as whispers grow louder about a move that could reshape the future of the franchise. The green and white faithful have seen bold decisions before, but this one carries a mix of risk and electric possibility. With Jayson Tatum sidelined for the entire 2025 and 26 season while recovering from an Achilles injury, every option to keep the championship window alive is now on the table, and one name is suddenly at the center of a stunning proposal that could change everything. Before we dive into the details, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and smash the hype button so you never miss a second of this unfolding drama. Your support keeps this Celtics community buzzing and ready for every twist that comes our way. Here is where it gets fascinating. Bill Simmons, one of the most influential voices in basketball media, has floated the idea of Boston sending reigning sixth man of the year Payton Pritchard to the Houston Rockets in exchange for former number 3 overall pick Reed Sheppard. This is not just a random rumor tossed into the air. It is a calculated suggestion built on the reality of a season without Tatum. Simmons argues that if the Celtics start to drift in the standings, the smart play might be to leverage Pritchard's peak value into a young guard with sky-high potential. Payton Pritchard is not an ordinary trade chip. At only 27 years old and locked into a 4-year, $30 million extension signed in 2023, he brings production and financial flexibility that every team covets. Last season, he averaged over 14 points per game while shooting nearly 47% from the field, all while coming off the bench and providing a steady offensive spark. His ability to create shots, stretch the floor, and handle pressure moments has made him a fan favorite and a trusted piece in the rotation. NBA insiders have repeatedly called him close to untouchable, placing him right behind Jaylen Brown and Derrick White on Boston's list of hardest players to pry away. That level of praise shows just how valuable he has become in a league obsessed with cost-controlled talent. Now picture the other side of the proposal. Reed Sheppard is only 21 years old, a recent lottery gem on a 4-year, $45.9 million rookie deal, and already drawing attention for his poise and scoring instincts. Houston plans to lean on him heavily with Fred VanVleet recovering from a torn anterior cruciate ligament, giving Sheppard minutes and responsibility that few second-year players ever see. For a Boston team thinking beyond the current season, adding a young guard with that kind of ceiling could be the first step in constructing a roster designed to dominate the second half of the decade. The beauty of this idea lies in the curiosity it creates. What if Boston secures a future star before he explodes into league-wide recognition, pairing him with a fully healthy Tatum down the road? What if Pritchard's value never climbs higher than it is right now, making this the perfect moment to trade strength for upside? These are the questions that keep executives awake at night, and they are exactly the kind of bold calculations that built the Celtics into a perennial contender. Nothing is imminent, and team officials continue to insist that Pritchard remains a core piece for this season. But the landscape can shift quickly when a superstar like Tatum is unavailable. A single hot streak or a sudden slide in the standings could tilt the decision toward a future-first strategy. Celtics fans should not see this as a sign of surrender, but rather as proof that the front office is exploring every path to keep Boston at the top for years to come. Whether the deal ever happens or not, the mere possibility shows that the organization refuses to sit still, and that determination should leave every supporter feeling hopeful and excited for what comes next. The idea of bold trades is already swirling around Boston, and now the speculation takes an even more electrifying turn. After the rumors involving Payton Pritchard and the tantalizing possibility of bringing in Reed Sheppard, the conversation has shifted toward a player who represents the heart of the current Celtics roster. Derrick White, the steady guard whose clutch performances have cemented his reputation as one of the league's most reliable two-way players, is suddenly being whispered about as a potential target for a team desperately seeking to make a championship leap. Before we explore this thrilling scenario, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and fire up the hype button. This community of Celtics fans thrives on your energy, and every click keeps the conversation alive as Boston navigates one of the most fascinating periods in franchise history. According to discussions between Bill Simmons and Zach Lowe, the Houston Rockets have emerged as the team most eager to test Boston's resolve. Led by former Celtics coach Ime Udoka, Houston is openly trying to replicate Boston's model of building around young stars. They already boast rising cornerstones Alperen Sengun and Amen Thompson, and in a stunning move have added Kevin Durant for the 2025 and 26 season. Their plan was to pair Durant with veteran point guard Fred VanVleet for a deep playoff run, but a devastating torn anterior cruciate ligament will keep VanVleet out for the year. That sudden void has Rockets executives searching for an elite guard who can stabilize the backcourt and push them into true contender status right now. Enter Derrick White, a player Simmons described as a top 50 talent with the rare ability to elevate both offense and defense without demanding the spotlight. White is 31 years old and under contract for 3 more seasons with a player option worth $34.8 million in the 2028 and 29 season. His combination of team-friendly control and all-around impact makes him one of the most valuable guards in the league. Simmons even suggested that any serious offer would need to include at least 3 first-round draft picks and a young prospect such as Reed Shepherd to even get Boston to pick up the phone. The curiosity here lies in the balance of power between immediate opportunity and long-term dominance. Houston believes that adding White could turn a setback into a legitimate championship chase, especially with Durant anchoring the offense. Imagine a Rockets team rolling out Durant, White, Sengun, and Thompson while VanVleet recovers. The fit is tantalizing, and the urgency created by Durant's age only adds to the pressure to strike quickly. For Boston, the intrigue comes from a different angle. With Jayson Tatum recovering from his Achilles injury and the team entering what many view as a bridge year, the front office faces constant questions about how aggressively to plan for the future. Trading White would be a seismic move, but it could deliver a mountain of draft capital and a blue-chip prospect that keeps the Celtics competitive for the next decade. Picture a scenario where Boston pairs a fully healthy Tatum and Jaylen Brown with a collection of young talent acquired in a White deal, creating a roster that can reload around its 2 cornerstones without sacrificing flexibility. Yet insiders close to the team insist that White remains nearly untouchable. His leadership, defensive intensity, and ability to handle the ball in pressure situations have made him a pillar of the current core. The Celtics value his presence not only for what he does on the floor, but for the calm and consistency he brings to a locker room navigating a challenging season. Even with multiple first-round picks and a promising young guard on the table, Boston's decision-makers may ultimately decide that White's influence is too important to trade away. This is where the curiosity gap widens, and every Celtics fan feels the tension. What if Houston comes back with an offer so overwhelming that it forces Brad Stevens to rethink the unthinkable? What if White's value never again reaches the level it holds right now, when multiple teams are desperate for a championship-caliber guard? And what if Boston could transform a season without Tatum into the launchpad for another decade of dominance by making a move that shocks the league? For now, Derrick White remains in green and white, orchestrating the offense and locking down opponents with the quiet confidence that has defined his career. But the conversations taking place behind closed doors remind everyone that in the NBA no player is ever completely off limits. As long as Houston keeps calling and the Celtics keep winning without Tatum, the possibility of a franchise-altering deal will continue to fuel excitement, speculation, and hope that Boston is positioning itself for an even brighter future. The whispers around Boston have grown into a steady drumbeat of anticipation. After the trade chatter surrounding Payton Pritchard and the daring speculation about Derrick White, Celtics fans now find themselves staring at a different kind of headline, one filled with nostalgia, leadership, and the promise of renewed strength. The focus has shifted from possible departures to a powerful reunion that could inject the roster with championship DNA at exactly the right time. Al Horford, the veteran who has already etched his name into Celtics history, is poised to return, and the timing of this move could not be more captivating. Reports from league insiders reveal that Horford is expected to sign with Boston as early as next week, ending a free agency journey that kept fans guessing throughout the summer of 2025. At 38 years old, Horford remains one of the most respected big men in basketball, combining an extraordinary basketball IQ with a game that has aged gracefully. His ability to stretch the floor with accurate outside shooting, protect the rim with disciplined defense, and mentor younger teammates makes him far more than a simple roster addition. For a team navigating a season without Jayson Tatum, the arrival of a steady veteran presence like Horford offers something no trade package or draft pick can guarantee: immediate belief. Imagine the strategic possibilities that open the moment Horford walks back into the locker room. His understanding of Boston's system allows him to contribute instantly, while his versatile skill set lets the coaching staff deploy him alongside Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, and the emerging second unit without disrupting chemistry. His presence transforms matchups on both ends of the court, forcing opponents to account for a player who can guard multiple positions and punish defenses with his passing and three-point range. For young talents learning how to thrive under playoff pressure, there is no better on-court mentor than a veteran who has faced every situation the league can present. The curiosity driving this story is not simply about a familiar face returning. It is about what this signing signals for the Celtics' larger plan. Brad Stevens and his front office have been careful not to label this season as a rebuilding year despite Tatum's Achilles recovery. By bringing back Horford, they send a message that the franchise remains committed to competing right now while quietly building for the future. It is a rare opportunity to add leadership and skill without sacrificing draft capital or financial flexibility. Horford's previous contract experience with Boston also gives management confidence in structuring a deal that protects the team's long-term plans while rewarding a player who continues to defy age. For Celtics fans, the emotional resonance is impossible to ignore. Horford has already shared unforgettable playoff battles in green and white, including deep runs that cemented his reputation as a clutch performer. His return offers a bridge between the championship aspirations of the recent past and the bright possibilities of the seasons ahead. Picture a packed TD Garden roaring as Horford checks in for his first game back, the crowd recognizing not just a skilled player, but a leader who chose to come home and finish what he started. That single moment would inject energy into a fan base eager for a reason to believe that another banner can still be raised. As the calendar inches closer to the signing window, the question is not whether Horford can help, but how far his impact might reach. Could his leadership spark a late-season surge that keeps Boston in the playoff picture even without Tatum? Could his guidance accelerate the growth of young players, creating a stronger foundation for when the full roster is healthy again? These are the possibilities that keep fans buzzing with excitement and analysts debating just how much this reunion could shift the Eastern Conference landscape. Celtics Nation now waits for the official announcement, hearts racing at the thought of a beloved veteran returning to guide the team through a challenging but opportunity-filled season. The reunion of Al Horford and the Boston Celtics is more than a transaction. It is a statement of intent and a reminder that championship culture never truly fades. If you are as thrilled as we are to see what comes next, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and smash that hype button so you do not miss a single update as this story unfolds.